Everything is copacetic. Be back, y'all. Episode 12. Yeah, man, working on doing this on the regular. Yo, big ups to everybody who tapped in to the last episode, folk who commented, and y'all appreciate y'all for real, for real. If this is your first time listening to the podcast, welcome in. Um, if you are a returning listener, once again, thank you. Everything is copacetic is a spot that I use where I get an opportunity to talk to folk with so many of my platforms. With the majority of my platforms, it's really sharing with artists and creatives, and this is a chance for me to just talk to y'all and let you know sort of my thoughts and my ideas and my views on things, just to chop it up, you know. So, off top, man, like, rate, subscribe, comment, share, like the whole nine. Let folk know about this podcast, and your connection with it it goes a long way in helping to grow it, man. So definitely tap in, and do those things, all of the podcast things, no matter where you listen to it. Definitely subscribe, so you can get updates when I'm releasing new episodes. Um, yeah, and once again, thank y'all for real, for real. Couple things to tap into off top, man. I had a chance to see that uh, at the Roots picnic, you know, the annual picnic that is always dope with the performances that they have. They had Miss Lauren Hill doing a set, and during her set, she said, "Yeah, it's the 25th anniversary of the Miseducation of Lauren Hill." But then she, you know, celebrating the 25th anniversary recently of I think it was of the score. She's like, anyway, I brought some folk out, man, and so she brought out Wyclef and she brought out Praz, and they did a bunch of Fuji's joints, which is really really dope to see. So um that is available. I saw it on Ambrosia for Heads. Shout out to Ambrosia for Heads. I'm sure that there's gonna be more video popping up elsewhere of that performance, but it's just really cool to see. Just as a fan of that era of hip hop, it's cool to see that those artists come back together and bless the stage that way. I always, you know, sentimental, I guess, or whatever the case may be. You know, you're always sad. I'm always sad when I see groups that have been groups for many years not rocking anymore together. So while they can, it's dope to see them doing that, coming back together. You know, I don't know, man. Especially, you know, as we see you just get to an age where some of the individuals that you're fans of move on, and you know, Tribe and De La, and so it's dope that while they're able to, they came together to perform for the audience in Philly. So that, like I said, it's that video I saw it on Ambrosia for Heads. I'm sure it's going to be available elsewhere. But yeah, man, that's my era. That's my favorite era of hip hop. So it was really cool to see that happen. Speaking of that era, speaking of the golden era, just this past Sunday, had a chance to do another episode of No Requests. No Requests is a DJ event that I do every fourth Sunday at McMenamin's White Eagle with my homie DJ Ambush, and it was a lot of fun. It's always a lot of fun, man. It's like therapy for me to be able to go and spend time on stage, and just spend with Ambush, and have him really push me in terms of my skills as a selector, because Ambush is such a dope DJ, and um, it that's what you want, though, right? You want to be in positions where you get an opportunity to test your skills and improve on your skills, and you know, I'm always about lifelong learning and just betterment of self. So yeah, man, we do that every fourth Sunday, and it was a good time, man. It was a nice turnout. Um, One of the great things to me about doing it is we're starting to see some familiar faces in terms of people coming back, right? And so we're starting to have people come back that I can tell are coming back just for the event, which is nice. People are finding out about it. People are tapping in. People are obviously feeling it in terms of what we're doing with the event, and really grateful for that. We'll be back next. The next one will be the fourth Sunday of this month. I think it's the 25th maybe of June that we'll be back. But yeah, man, definitely want to encourage folk. Come on out. It's not a party, it's a vibe. Just two DJs playing golden era and influenced. It's really, really a good time. It's funny too because I may have said this before, but when I started doing no requests, and I used to feel this way about a lot of the events that I do, including the radio shows and the podcast. I used to feel like those I would know who was going to I'd see in the building, or I would know who would be tapping in, and um, and then you get surprised that, oh, that's, these are new individuals that are finding what I have to offer, and I really have come to appreciate that, um, meeting new individuals, and sharing these really wonderful gifts of art with people who may not be familiar with. And so once again, big ups to you if you've been out to a no requests. Salute to you. Thank you for coming out. Want to encourage you to keep coming out. It's a free event, which makes it really nice. And as the days are getting longer, um, now we can keep the patio doors open, and so you can set out on the patio and still vibe with us. So yeah, man. Every fourth Sunday, that's where we at at the White Eagle, and it's a blast, man. It's a really really good time. So you're invited. And bring some folk with you, and just come vibe with us, man. Also last week, I had a chance to spend for artists, and you know, as when I think about my journey as a DJ, for me, I didn't start out I didn't start out DJing. I started out as an MC, and eh, MC and then producer, and really fell into DJing primarily for artists. Once I moved here to the Northwest, my nephew started getting into rhyming, and would do did a little bit of co-production with him, and then would DJ for him for performances, and then started DJing for some other artists for performances, and really found that for me that was a it was a place that I felt I was good at that, man. Just DJ, and I enjoyed it, DJing for artists. And between that and then being on the radio in those areas, felt comfortable calling myself a DJ. But I've never really, I've never really, because I think I know so many great DJs. If you're in my circle of influence, I shout them out all of the time. As I mentioned, DJ Ambush, DJ OG1, DJ Rev Shines, DJ Wicked, like people who I look up to for their skill sets as DJs. So I had a chance to, and I don't get to do it often, man, but I had a chance to DJ for an artist this past week, a cat named Dobleon, who I met. He did the last, I believe it was the last mic check of last year of 2022. I think that's the one. He rocked with me on that set, and he opened on the show this past Wednesday, so I got an opportunity to DJ for him, which was really cool. He's nice, man. He's so nice. And when I talk about this era of hip hop, this golden era, and being a lyricist and stylistically like really fits with the aesthetic that I love. And so I had a chance to spend for he and his homie, his producer, forgive me, bruh. Uh, charge it to my heart, not my charge it to my head, not my heart, for not remembering your name. But it was a good time, man. And so, intended to pull up there and DJ for him and then bounce because, I got a 9 to 5, I gotta get up early. But then had an opportunity to extend my time there that evening and DJ for the headliner, a chance to DJ for Cannibal Ox, Vast Air, and that was the show. Like it was Dobleon was open or opened for Vast Ox of Cannibal Ox, or Vast Air of Cannibal Ox, and it was like I was in my element, bro. I was in my element, and people were in the building, and they were obviously digging it. Super fans of uh, of an artist who has, especially in this year, man. I'm really leaning into that. You've heard me talk about it. This 50th anniversary of hip hop. It was a dope night, man. It was a dope night. Got a chance to see my guy, Ayatollah, who I don't see nearly often enough, who was in the building. A bunch of folks were in the building. So that was really, really cool, man. I love spinning for MCs, especially MCs of that caliber, MCs of that ilk. It was a good time, man. So if you were out there, if you came out, salute to you for coming out to a dope show and supporting local events when they're happening, man. We need to continue to do that because the more we support those events, the more those events we can do those sorts of events here in the city. Um, Last week, also, I don't remember which day, but I think I mentioned it. I did an interview with Bruce Poinsette, and he dropped that interview last week. That is available on his Patreon. So if you go to Bruce Poinsette, I guess it's Patreon/Bruce Poinsette. You get to watch the full interview there. I don't know if it's going. I don't know where else it may be where he may release it as well. But had a chance to have that interview aired, and already got some feedback from it. And thank you everyone for the kind words in terms of what I had to share in that interview. And I try to share from my heart, just like I do here. But I'm really grateful for the platform that Bruce gave me to express the way that I feel about art, the way that I feel about music, the way that I feel about community, and how those things all work together, and how we can grow those things, uh, and how I work to do it to the best of my ability. So once again, man, the Bruce Poinsett Show, you can catch it on the Numbers. That's the Numbers with a Z on their Twitch. I believe it releases an episode every week, and great interviews, man. And I feel very, very honored to have been included in that roster of interviews. So salute to my guy Bruce Poinsett. You're going to get an opportunity to hear Bruce on an episode of Cliff Notes at some point coming up soon. We've been talking about getting together, and his story I think is really cool, and I admire what he does as a journalist, the platforms that he gives to folk, and I learn a lot because of the people that he gets to interview, and he's done some really good work in making changes in the area. So be on the lookout for that. If you haven't yet, you can also subscribe to the Cliff Notes podcast. That's the podcast that I've done the most, and I've got the most episodes up and some amazing interviews, not because of me, but because of the folk that I have a chance to talk to. You can subscribe to that literally everywhere that you listen to podcasts. So you can tap into the Cliff Notes podcast. I spell my name KLYPH, Cliff Notes. Um, man, something else that I got to do. Like I said, I love this time of year. I had a chance to check out my people's market, and for a number of those events, I've had a chance to participate, whether it be doing live interviews of Cliff Notes there at my people's market, or DJing. But this time, I got a chance to just be there and celebrate, and it was so cool to catch up. It was funny. I saw a friend out there, and she was like, "Yo, this is like family reunion. We get to come together and see everyone." But it was a really good time. It yesterday and today, it goes today until 6 o'clock. So if you get to hear this today on Sunday the 4th, it's still happening today. You can go check it out. Really great vendors, really good food, and some great performances, music as well, in a beautiful space, man. At the Red on Salmon, it's free, so you can get in there for free and support local vendors, which is really cool, man. My People's Market is such a great event, and I'm so grateful to have been a part of it before, and to go out and support it. Today, I wanted to get this episode of this podcast out early because I want to let you guys know that today, as I mentioned, performances. One of the performances I want to encourage people to check out. McDaniel High Stomp and Shake Cheer Squad is going to be there. They're going to be doing a performance, and they're doing a fundraiser as well. So they're raising funds for new uniforms. So if you can get out there today to My People's Market, like I said, it's at the Red on Salmon, and just show some support to those athletes as they work to raise funds for for new uniforms, but then just to go out and build a network, and you never know who you might meet. I got to show y'all. If you're watching the video of this, I'm gonna show y'all a couple things I had to pick up. Shout out to my folk over at Hob Sauce. I had to re up on that, man. I had to get another couple bottles of the Hob Sauce, man. This time I got the spicy sweet soy sauce, and man, if you know about, once again, local creators, man, making really great products. I love the hot sauce, and I'm becoming more of a hot sauce kind of person. Like the super spicy stuff, I can't mess with that too much. But I be trying to chef up a little bit, try to get down in the kitchen just a tiny bit. And they are out there right now with their wares. And if you're gonna be out there, I highly advise you to pick up a bottle of the hot sauce. I should have pulled it up, man, because they're doing some other things in the city, over in St. John's, that's really cool. And I'm gonna come back and talk about that in an upcoming episode. But for today, if you're going out to my people's market or probably even online, I know on social you can check out Hot Sauce HAB. Get you some of this good local made hot sauce, man. This is definitely some good stuff. Also, it's funny. Yesterday, I was talking to wifey. I think it was yesterday. Maybe it was on Friday. Maybe it was on Friday. And she was just we were talking. I don't remember what brought up the conversation, but she was just talking about how much I used to read. I used to read like a lot. I don't read nearly as much as I used to, for no other reason than I haven't been putting forth the effort to do that. So while we were out there, I had a chance to stop by Third Eye Books, and shout out to my folk at Third Eye Books, man. Independently black owned bookstore here in Portland. They have a brick and mortar on Southeast 33rd, and they were set up out there. And I was looking through some of the things that they had, and this book came across. This book caught my eye. It's actually a graphic novel, and I learned that one of the authors, David Walker, is a Portland-based author, and this particular book is an award-winning book. And I don't remember the award that it received for being a graphic novel, but David is a gentleman who I understand is celebrated for the work that he's done in telling stories and doing interviews with people who lived through some challenging times in our country and has shared those stories through his gift of writing. So I picked up this one, man. This is the Black Panther Party. It's a graphic novel history, and I'm excited to dive into it and maybe learn some things, man. I mean, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. When I was coming up, I in my in my youth, I I don't really I never really learned a lot about the Black Panther Party. Um, and as an adult, I want to know more because this is a part of my history. It's 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 valuable for me to it's valuable for all of us, I think, to know our history, and that's not something that I really thought about as a youth. And now as a man, I do crave to understand more of my history. And it's funny when I talk to my wife and she can talk about her heritage and her parents' heritage, and I know so little, and we know that as Black folk, there's only so little that we can know. Um, I mean, unless we dig, right? And with now with the whole DNA situation and the whatever the 23andMe and all of that, I just don't know how I feel about giving my DNA. Maybe that's silly, but this is a start for me to get to know my history, my American history, and the impact that a group like the Black Panther Party has had on community and the truth behind it, not just what's politicized in terms of the negativity by those who are not people of color, but the work that they did for creating programs like free food programs and just making sure that people were able to get the necessities that we all deserve in life. So, at any rate, man, it's a graphic novel. It's called The Black Panther Party, written by David F. Walker, who once again I understand I think Undercity's a Portland native and lives here in Portland, and then also Marcus Kwame Anderson, who did the illustrations. So I'm gonna read it and I'll let y'all know, man. I'll do a review of this, but if you interested in checking this out, like I said, I got it from Third Eye Books, um, local bookstore, black owned. So support small businesses for real, for real. I I also last week had a chance, finally got off work a little early one day, and so I had a chance to go out and go and check out Your Herd, which is a project that my guy Elias and has been doing with Andre of Friends of Noise, and it's a dope open mic situation. And I've been wanting to go, so I finally got a chance to go, and it was really dope, man. I'm so glad that I did, to see some young people doing like sharing their gifts in a way that I think sometimes can be difficult, can be challenging. Um, you can just sometimes feel like that's a little. I know I would, feel just a little nervous, a little hesitant. Um, but it was really dope to get out there and just see these young men, young women, young people, and it was held over at Bodecker, and I pulled up, and as I pulled up, I got to see the homie Tony Ozier, which is really cool because I hadn't seen him in a minute, And so we got a chance to chop it up as well. But you heard, I think they do it. I don't know if they do it quarterly, if they do it monthly. But man, if you get a chance to go check one out and support these young people, I highly recommend it. And just see people working on their crafts, man. Um, but there again, I got to see Tony and got a chance to tour the facility, which was really dope, and see the recording studio and some of the other spaces. Really excited for what they have coming up for summer and fall programs for youth. If you're interested in supporting Bodecker, uh, they're a nonprofit, and so anything that I think that I believe they're a nonprofit, but anything that you feel inclined to do to support youth programs, definitely consider that. While we were there, just chopping it up, man, one of the things that we talked about as Tony and Elias and I were talking, we were just talking about that program, and then other ways, other things that are happening in the city, where OGs like myself and really what those cats are doing to provide platforms and support for young people. And we talked about how it's one of the things that we should be talking about more, which is the positive things that happen specifically here in the city. Those things that maybe don't get talked about as much as they could. Those things that don't get celebrated maybe as much as they should, which is there are many ways that young people are being supported by the OGs, many opportunities that they're given. And I say that to say, I think we got to celebrate those things, because I think the more we celebrate them, the more that positive energy will be put out there. And the more that we talk about that, then the more individuals will find, oh, these are events that are available that I can tap into to help with the journey that I want to be on, or the journey that I'm on to be a creative, a visual creative, an audible creative, whatever the case may be. So this is just one of them. You heard is one of them, but there are many more. Like I said, the youth programs that are going to be happening. Also, some of the programs that are happening with the numbers, and also with X-Ray FM. So um, if you hear of some of these programs, of some of these programs, youth who might be able to take advantage of some of these programs, please, be sure to let them know, man, and let them know that there's a lot of mentoring that does happen, that does go on in our city, in Portland, or in the Portland metro area. Let's celebrate that, man. Let's put that positive energy out there, because we can definitely make a huge difference in people's lives when we do these sorts of things. Um, I have an event coming up August 20th that I've been talking about that I'm really excited for. I'm really looking forward to having this event be a celebration of an art form that I love, man. A celebration of 50 years of hip hop, a celebration of 7 years of Mic Check, this event that I've been able to carry on with the relationship with McMenamins, and I'm so grateful for. And um, these events don't happen by themselves. These events um, take support from folk, and I oftentimes get support from DJ LG1 has stepped into the space of being the resident DJ for Mic Check, which I truly appreciate. A man of his caliber definitely doesn't have to do something like that, but that's my brother, and I definitely appreciate him doing that. The artists who share their gifts with me when I'm doing these showcases, and then those who consistently show support for coming out. So this year we're doing this special event, man, this special celebration. Um, the lineup is amazing, and I mentioned it last time, but I've gotten some support from a couple of the radio stations that I do shows on a weekly basis. Both X-Ray FM and the Numbers are media sponsors for the event this year, and I'm really grateful for that. I'm really grateful that they see the value in what I do and what this event is, and see the value in helping to support and give a voice to maybe those who don't always get that voice, but who truly deserve it. So, two nonprofit community radio stations, X-Ray FM, um, and the Numbers FM. Um, Thank you so much for being there for me, for being there for the local hip hop scene, for being there for artists, for this art form. And then, of course, big ups to the city of Portland for their willingness to build with the work of PDX Hip Hop Week, and having this be and creating a sanctioned week for these sorts of events. And so I'm grateful that this event is going to be a sanctioned event. Really excited for what's to come, and excited to see y'all in the building, man. Um, Doing a bunch of giveaways, a bunch of raffle giveaways, and I think everybody who comes through is going to have an opportunity to leave with something, whether it's just a great night of music or whether it's something tangible that you can take home. I am excited to celebrate a couple of individuals from the city and for the work that they've done. I'm excited to support a local nonprofit. There's a lot. There's a lot going on. So August 20th is the event. This is an all ages event. It's happening at McMenamin's Mission Theater, a beautiful, beautiful historic venue. And you're invited. Tickets are available right now, so I want you to get your tickets. You can get them either at McMenamin's Mission Theater website, or you can get them at djcliff.com. There's a link there. But either way, man, I just want to encourage you to be in the building. Come through, celebrate with us as we celebrate this art form, as we celebrate hip hop. So pull up for real, for real. Um, Man, finally, I wanted to get this episode recorded a little bit earlier today for two reasons. One, because I wanted to let folk know about my people's market and encourage people to get out and if you can, man, get out there. I think it starts at noon today and it goes until 6. So, get out even if you just pass through for a little bit. Like I said, it's at the Red on Salmon. Definitely pull up. But then I also want to get this one knocked out early because, man, I'm trying to get back on my movement. You know what I'm saying? On my regular movement. I'm comfortable now calling myself a runner, but I haven't run in a while, and that was a tough thing for me to like embrace the fact that I am a runner, because I don't consider myself a strong runner, but I am a runner, and I have seen the value in running not just for the ability to become a stronger runner physically, but how that is carried over into other areas of my life, and have I've been able to take some of the tools of in terms of overcoming obstacles and challenges and, so at any rate, I have fallen off hard. So I'm gonna get out and get a little movement and get a little exercise before it gets too hot, and then get back and do my domesticated duties, get out and get out in the yard and just get ready for another work week. So, I say that to say I just wanna encourage you, whatever your movement is, whatever you like to do, or whatever you feel inclined to do or drawn to do. I want to encourage you to just take some time today and do that. Um, our bodies love movement, and it's valuable for our physical health, it's valuable for our mental health, it's valuable for our emotional health. And it's also a place that you can tap into to your spirituality, especially if you can get outside and be out in nature and just get some fresh air and some fresh and some sunshine, get some vitamin D and all of those things that sometimes I think we take for granted. So, I encourage you today, just move. Whether it's getting out, taking a walk, or running, or riding a bike, or getting on some water, which is cool. I'm gonna let y'all do that. I'm gonna stay on the solid ground. Or just getting some stretching in the house if you just want to be at the house, whatever the case may be, man. But just encourage you to get out there and do some movement today. Um, Once again, man, thank you for listening. Thank you for tapping in. If this is your first time, again, I want to encourage, or if it's not your first time, I want to encourage you to subscribe to the podcast, like, share, rate, comment. Um, Help me get the word out about this podcast, and then about other things that are under the DJ Cliff Productions umbrella. But that's what I got today, man. Like I said, I'm gonna get out and try to get a little movement in. Once again, thank you so much for those who continue to contribute, those who continue to support. You can catch me also every Saturday night on X-Ray FM with the Welcome to the Neighborhood radio show. You can catch me weekly, Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. on the Numbers FM, 96.7 FM Portland. That's the Numbers with a Z. Also check out the Cliff Notes podcast, and then come through and rock with us, man. August the 20th, we'll be at Mission Theater for Mic Check, the 7-year anniversary. And then every fourth Sunday, you can see me at McMenamin's White Eagle Saloon for No Requests with my guy, DJ Ambush. Thank y'all so much, man. Until next time, y'all be blessed. I'm out. Peace.